Introducing Keenan Marquise Prudencio Feel the Burn Podcast. We talking about getting that Lombardi. You gon' need at least 15 straight. We talking about getting that Heisman. Bust it up right, then I hit him with the fade. Who gon' be the number one conference? Big 12 or the Big 10? ACC or the Pac-12? Now the SEC still gon' hell. When it comes to the course, we don't cover no records. We talking about brackets and getting buckets. Who gon' give us the player of the year? Do you think it's gon' be another Cinderella story? Will we see a repeat? Who gon' come out the East? Who deserves MVP in the summers more? You tuned in to the hottest sports podcast out. Sit back and enjoy. Always bringing you the hottest takes. Break it down so you can relate. From the preseason to the champs time, we cover everything in between. Got the airwaves on lock with the best analysts in the game. Put a brand podcast on, turn it up and let the show begin.
Feel the burn, feel the burn, feel the burn. Behind the feel the burn, yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Feel the Burn, the hottest sports podcast out. I am the man with the plan, the host who does the most. My name is Prudencio Logan, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts.
Keys.
And Kanan Don.
We got Keys, we got Kanan Don, and we got some NBA talk to start the show off. Ben Simmons is still with the 76ers. Cannot get traded or won't get traded. I don't know. We've seen that the news came out that the 76ers turned down an offer from the Detroit Pistons to get Jeremy Grant and some other pieces. And now with some talks that the Sacramento Kings are in talks to try and get Ben Simmons as well. Keith, we want to come to you first. Are the 76ers asking too much for Ben Simmons?
Yes, they're asking way too much for this particular reason. Nobody has seen him play basketball since the last time he was in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he performed way under for the asking price they're asking for. So I think as soon as the trade deadline comes, they're just going to get lowballed, or it's going to have to be a situation where it's going to have to be a 3-team trade for the trade to go through. But as of right now, because he's not playing, nobody can see that he's improving. What they're asking for is way too much.
All right, Keenan, what about you? Do you think the 76ers are asking too much?
I don't think they asking too much far as player-wise what they're trying to get. Pick-wise, yes, they think they finna get an OKC type of trade where they're going to get 7 first-round picks and be good for years to come. I think that's a little bit too much. But for wanting an all-star caliber player, a player that can come in right now and continue a winning culture, I think that's not too much, because if we being honest, I know what he did last playoffs wasn't, up to standards. But Ben Simmons is one of those talents, man. At the end of the day, he's a good defender in the league, if not great defender. He really was Philly's best defender. 6'10" point guard, big, got the skill as a small guard. He can kind of much do it all. Only thing about Ben is his shooting. That's the only real question that we have about his game, is his shooting ability, and why won't he shoot, his confidence. But I think that goes into their culture in Philly. That's why we don't get a confident Ben Simmons. Because when he's on and confident, that guy's hard to stop. Triple double machine. Gonna make the right plays, and he gonna stop the other team's best player, if not make it hard for him. So I don't think it's too much, if you're being honest with.
The 76ers are like a half a game or a game and a half out of the first place in the Eastern Conference right now without Ben. Do they even need to trade Ben? Or is it more of a, you're going to come back and play for us? Or what do you think the case is? Do you think they're trying to trade Ben? Do you think they're just punishing him right now by keeping him on the team? What do you think the case is?
I think they need to trade him. You want to trade him because if he don't want to be there, that's gonna mess up your locker room. That's gonna mess up your culture. He don't want to be there. Do you really want to play with a guy? We seen this going into football when Le'Veon Bell was doing, he was doing, Antonio Brown was doing, he was doing with Pittsburgh. It messed up the locker room. That's gonna be the same case. He's supposed to be your all-star perennial player. He's supposed to be a franchise piece. He's not wanting to be there. It's gonna If you try to bring him back into that, them folks not gonna get along. They already had reports of not getting along. We seen what Joel came on the press conferences saying. So it's not gonna work. So you got to get rid of him. Honestly, I would have took the Detroit trade with Jeremy Grant, Sadiq Bey. I would have took that trade because both of those guys are pieces. Grant can score, Grant can defend just as well, and even the young Bey, this is his second season, and he's been dropping. We've been having a couple of 20-point games after him, great defensive games out of him. So I think they should have took that trade. The Sacramento trade though, Sacramento tried to get greedy. So I understood why they declined that one. Sacramento tried to get real greedy on them. But yeah, you have to trade Ben. You got to.
Keith, is there a team that should trade for Ben Simmons, or is he untradeable?
He's not untradeable for the simple fact when he is playing with confidence, he is a top 15, 20 player in the league. That's not the problem. I think the issue is why give up that much capital and you don't know what you're getting back? It's a huge reward, very high risk. If you're a rebuilding team, which I think that's the team that's going to have to go to, I don't see why you would take the opportunity or, lose all those assets for a guy that you're not sure if you can build around him.
You don't think you can build around Ben?
At this current state, no, because you don't know what you're going to get out of him.
Well,
That's
I
a
feel like
huge risk. I feel like it's a huge. Well, for the question he asked you, Keenan, yes, there's no reason to keep Ben Simmons for
right.
everything you mentioned, and more importantly, you're wasting a roster spot. If you have the ability to go get depth and you're winning right now, just go get bench depth or anything. If, you don't need the superstar player because you have your real superstar in Joel Embiid. So I would use Ben Simmons as a piece to go get depth, and if you can get a draft pick, sure. But I think there's no point of having a roster spot where a guy doesn't want to be there. He's not going to play. He's fine with, taking the fines and losing the money out of his paycheck. There's no point to keep him.
So why not punish him and send him to Detroit?
Send him to Detroit. I mean, you can send him Orlando, Houston, wherever you want to send him.
Orlando.
But it's a waste of a spot.
Do
It's a waste of a roster spot at this point for
that.
Philly.
It is.
Should the 76ers look at a Ben Simmons for John Wall trade?
You could.
I don't see why not. John Wall's going to play.
Yeah. Because he just robbing the
And he's
Rockets
not going to right. He's not going to clash with Joel Embiid.
Nope.
Or your wing players.
I seen something
Both
where they was
playmakers.
talking, yeah. I seen somewhere that was talking Westbrook for Wall.
Again.
We got to sprinkle him in there.
Man, if I was the Lakers, man, I would take that.
Hey, honestly, what if you the Lakers? Would you go try to get on Westbrook?
Man, no.
I'm just a question.
Westbrook can't shoot, and Simmons won't shoot. That's just gonna make it worse.
Which I mean, at this point, you don't even need to shoot.
Right,
just make free throws.
With LeBron and Ben Simmons on the same team, that would be scary.
A couple of months ago we said with LeBron and Russell Westbrook on the same team, man, that would be scary. Yeah, scary for the Lakers.
The thing is, though, being way younger, he gonna listen to somebody like LeBron. Westbrook his own dude. Westbrook gonna do what he want to do.
Even when we're not talking about Westbrook, we find a way to talk about Westbrook.
No, we got to get him in there, man. That's Logan's favorite player in the NBA right now.
Ben Simmons, Westbrook. It's crazy to think John Wall is the best player out of all of them right now. Probably. Right. And he hasn't even played this year.
They played in 3 years, I think.
He's setting up because him and the Rockets have decided that they will try to trade him. They will try to find him a new home. And he won't play for them this year. So he hasn't. I don't know.
So, question, Logan. If you was Houston's general manager, would you trade Ben Simmons for John Wall?
Yeah. In terms of, I think Ben is still young enough to build around, and I think you have some exciting young players to where Ben can be a ball handler,
Right.
but he's really going to be like a slashing wing ball handler type player. The court is spread out and he can just run the rim.
Houston got the shooters for it too. They got the players that they're working with will work well with them.
Exactly. Imagine some type of scenario where the 76ers end up with John Wall and Eric Gordon for Ben Simmons and etc. Are the 76ers not the best team in the East at that point?
With the way Embiid playing.
Just dropped
Yeah,
50 the other night.
Yeah.
as long as Embiid stays healthy, I think they have literally a great chance. And I think
But
that also should entice the 76ers just to be like, F it, let's get rid of this man and continue to move forward with the progress we're trying to make. You tried. Nobody can say that you didn't try, but there's no point in keeping him there if you don't want to be there. Go
Logan, you
try to
should
go
go
win a
apply for
ring.
a job. Logan should go apply for the GM job. That'd be a nice team there, Gordon and Wall for being.
In some type of scenario, I'm sure they can make the contracts match up. But they just got to open their eyes. I think it will work out for both teams. I think Ben could be effective for the growing Rockets. And I think John Wall and Eric Gordon could really help the 76ers in their push to an NBA championship.
True. Because at
But
this point, they're at the part in their careers is like, hey, we're just trying to get to the chip.
Right.
I don't know. Trade deadline is February 10th. It will be an interesting coming weeks to figure out what exactly is going on in the NBA. I'm really excited to start talking about the NBA a lot more. We got a couple of more weeks of football left. It's bittersweet, but I'm glad we got, NBA to look forward to. Hopefully there is a splash at the trade deadline. But we're going to jump over to college football right now. And the topic at hand, which team has the most to prove next season? I have my team in my head, but we're going to start with Keenan first.
Oof. Would it not be Alabama? I mean, you just keep coming off a loss to Georgia. Would it not be them? Will you lost to Georgia with the Heisman quarterback? Would it not? How can it not be them? You got to show that you still there. With all the talk Logan was given, why wouldn't it not be them with the most to prove? They gonna come out like they got the most to prove. So would it not be them? Like how can you choose anybody else but them? I don't know the team Clemson.
Who cares about any of those other teams? The team with the most to prove is definitely the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Right.
They're going to have another great season. Bryce Young is probably going to win the Heisman again. Right?
Mm.
It doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters to Alabama. What matters is winning the championship. And you know what they won't do next year? They won't win the championship because you want to know. You want to know why they won't win the championship?
Don't do this.
Because they're going to lose in the regular season to somebody, and they won't make it.
So
I don't know. They'll lose to
Auburn.
Don't say. They'll lose to Auburn or A&M or Ole Miss. One of those teams like they do on one of their off years. Bye. Alabama has the most to prove next year. And Keith, if you are smart, you would agree with us. Because any Roll Tide fan knows that they face disappointment. We lost to Georgia. We lost to the Georgia, but it doesn't matter how many people we have hurt. It doesn't matter who we have on the field. We lost to Georgia the same way Ohio State feels losing to Michigan. We lost to Georgia, and guess what? That's going to become the common thing going on forward. All right, the Georgia Bulldogs will remain in the Alabama Crimson Tide's head. They're nightmares for years coming forward. I'm not guaranteeing a championship next year. Okay. But all I'm saying is that Alabama should be the most concerned, most talked about team with the most to prove next year. Because 2 back-to-back seasons without achieving a championship, I don't think it's been done. In the Saban area, interception by the Los Angeles Rams. They're up 20-3. But it is the Alabama Crimson Tide, the team in college football with the most to prove next season. Keith, I'm done.
Thank God. I've never been part of a take where I feel like I have to educate my two co-hosts on how wrong they are by picking Alabama in this particular moment. Before the championship, you both said Alabama is banged up. Alabama also lost their best receiver in the middle of the game. I guarantee you there are multiple, if not millions, of Alabama fans said, you know what, we'll chop this one up to the football gods and we'll take our L. But to prove something, come on, that's off. That's ludicrous. The team
How?
that has to prove the team that has to prove the most, I feel, is Clemson. Why? They have the weakest Power 5 conference outside of the Pac-12. That's number one. Two, if you had to say, what's the second team? Oh, and then I'm gonna give you another reason why for Clemson. Everybody had high hopes of DJ Olalele replacing Trevor Lawrence, and for them to have a 3-loss season inside of the ACC, biggest disappointment. He loses. Dabo Swinney loses his defensive coordinator, who was one of the highly most paid defensive coordinators in the country, to go to Oklahoma. He lost another assistant coach. People are not going to say, can Dabo Swinney have the ability as a coach to have replace his assistant coaches, but still maintain that level of excellence that Clemson has had for the last 7 years or so. So there's a team that has the most to prove with a quarterback that was a 5-star recruit coming out of California, played well against Notre Dame his freshman year, has all this high hope to have a 3-loss season. Clemson has the most to prove, not Alabama, and it's not even close. It's not even close, and you
It's
guys know
close.
it.
How
It
come
is.
it's not?
So how else? The only thing Alabama has to say is we win the game. They were already in the championship. Clemson is going from a 3-loss team, three losses, to trying to get back in the top 4. Completely different.
Let me tell you something. To quote my favorite coach, the standard is the standard. When you don't win the championship, you got something to prove coming back in this season, bro. You have something to prove. I give you Clemson, though. Clemson is my second pick to have something to prove the most because you know what they've been doing and what they did last season when Wake Forest was the best team in their conference. But Alabama, you saying it's not even close?
It's
Come
not
on,
close.
man.
I'm gonna give you an example. Like I said, I mentioned the reason Alabama didn't get over the hump for the majority of the season. Most Alabama fans said, you know what, this has been an off year. We're not playing to our standard. Agreed. They still was literally. Didn't they win the SEC on an off year? Didn't they beat Cincinnati, an undefeated team?
They lost
Wasn't
to
now
A&M.
wait. Before the Georgia game, before the second half of the Georgia game, the game was still fairly close. Alabama was still in striking distance. So don't look at the score and be like they just got completely obliterated. That's not the case. They had a young team playing on the most important stage, and they didn't make plays. Those guys get experience. They're coming back. No, it's not. It's no way close.
Man, it's
No
close.
way
You know
close.
it's close.
It's no way close. If you would have
This
said
Man,
Ohio State, I could understand Ohio State more
I
than
could
Alabama.
give you Ohio State too, though. Especially coming out there lost to Utah the
this
way they did.
man Keys just wanna give any type of shine to the ACC
Right,
so he
What?
can feel appreciated, so his
right.
Hurricanes can feel noticed. Keys, this
What?
got nothing to do with the Hurricanes, okay?
You could at
Clemson
least
has
I
say Ohio
didn't
State
mention the
yourself.
Hurricanes.
Clemson is a top 5 team that has something to prove. Fair, okay? They should be a good team next year. They should have been good this year, but Alabama, Bryce Young may leave next year to go to the NFL. Is he going to be the greatest Alabama quarterback and the one to not win a championship?
Right.
Is he the
The
Heisman?
standard, man.
Is he the Heisman King and won't bring Nick Saban championship gold?
Y'all are overhyping it way too
Man,
much.
look, it's like
Way
this,
too much.
Keith.
You're
Keith.
saying a team that finished 2 has more to prove than a team that was in the top
Yes.
20. What?
They lost to a mailman. They have something to prove. They
Clemson
lost to
lost
Bennett.
3 games in the ACC.
The ACC sucks.
You're proving my point.
That's Clemson's fault, though. Listen, Clemson, yes, they have something to prove, but not more than Alabama. Not more than Alabama.
I do not see why. Clemson had a disappointed year last year, correct?
They did.
Okay. Clemson is still considered, would you say, a top 6 program currently?
But you ask any Alabama, fan. Did they? You ask any Alabama fan those same questions you just asked us, and they're gonna say yes.
You can make the same arguments for Alabama.
Alabama was 2.
Ask a Bama fan.
Oh my goodness, they lost, and Keenan, your take was literally they lost.
Keith, you lose to A&M in Georgia in the same year. You got something to prove in this shit, man. Look, you used to losing a lot. See,
you used to be an average.
I'm
that's
using
what it
common
is.
sense.
You see what the Cowboys
I'm using
that's what
common
it is.
sense. Why are we talking about the Cowboys?
Because you used to be an average.
Are average.
I'm not a Cowboys fan.
Yes, you are. You got on the gray now, and it's not really for Northwestern.
Y'all are ludicrous. I can't believe there's no way in the world that you pick Alabama to have more to prove over Clemson, who has been this was the first top 4 Clemson has missed.
The only valid team I could have gave you other than Clemson. Clemson, like 3. You could have said Ohio State, and I would have been like, yeah. But Clemson over Alabama.
So wait. So list your top 3 in order.
For most to prove?
Yes.
Bama, Ohio State, and then Clemson is 3. Clemson will be 3 on their list.
How?
Bama.
What's yours, Logan? Wait. What's yours, Logan?
Bama, Michigan, Ohio State.
Well, I can give you them. I can see that. That's a good one. What's your 3? Give us your 3.
Clemson, Ohio State, and you already know it'll go with number 3.
Who? You better not say them.
Who?
Do you?
No, we have nothing to prove. We have nothing to prove to the
program.
world. I think 3 is going to be Texas.
That's a good one. Their running back could turn to 2, I think.
Texas hasn't been good in
all the teams I named have one common issue. They did not meet expectations the previous year while trying to go back to something they were before.
But
Alabama
Texas
has not
really
missed the college for. But this is why I say Texas. Texas went and changed head coaches. Then they come back and they lose to Kansas this year or something like that, or some horrible team. Texas' issue is they're trying to get back before Texas is trying to get back before they get to the SEC. Their job is going to even become harder once they get in the SEC.
Once you say USC, you go get Lincoln Riley. He probably, as a coach, has the most to prove as a coach.
True. I agree with that. As a coach, I truly agree with that.
So I feel like you should put USC over Texas in it. Because Texas hasn't been relevant. They only got relevant because they entered into the SEC. And they haven't really did nothing since Colt McCoy.
I'm going to tell you why I didn't pick USC. I'm going to give Lincoln Riley 1 year. He just got there. I'm going to give him 1 year. His expectation isn't going to be extremely high, but I give him 1 more year before you be like, now the pressure is on. Okay. I think every coach at least deserves 1 year of no criticism for the talent or the production or on the field.
For what they've been, I say 2. I say 2 for their team.
Can't believe y'all picked Alabama over Clemson. Y'all is, oh lordy.
I mean,
we got to make it a poll.
You just the Alabama
has more
fan.
to prove from the no. You have to ask who has most to prove. We have to put on our social media and list the 6 teams that we mentioned: Alabama, Clemson, and Michigan, Ohio State and Michigan. Those will be the top 4. And I guarantee you everybody's going to pick Clemson.
Okay.
We know what Alabama is. We know they're going to have it. We know they're going to be in the top 4. We don't know if Clemson is.
I think you're pulling for straws there.
That's not pulling for straws. Do you think Alabama's going to be in the top 4 next year?
They might be.
Keenan, do you think they're going to be in the top 4 next year?
Why wouldn't they be?
Do you think Clemson's going to be in the top 4 next year?
Top 10, maybe.
So then Clemson has to prove that they are a top 4 team, correct?
No, they got to prove it because they wasn't last year.
Thank you for making my point.
No, it's still Bama.
Okay, well, no. Go ahead, Logan.
Alabama has the most to prove. I'm glad we can all agree on that.
Right.
So we gave you a little
like average.
Yeah, Keith just want to talk about. He talks about Texas. Texas got a lot to prove. I don't think who Texas proving something to you? You want to?
No, the world. The world.
What are they proving to them?
That they are still a powerhouse. That they're still a blue blood in college football.
Well,
they've been though. That was supposed to be good last year.
They've been trying to prove that for 10 years.
Right. Well, yeah.
When is the expectation just? Oh man, well I guess they just a good to average team.
When you have a certain brand, you are expected to be in a certain conversation that Texas fans are dying to be a part of again.
But they better call Vince Young back.
Texas fans, the only people that's talking about Texas. We don't. I mean, like, don't nobody care.
But you're saying that everything that you just said, I said. They are trying to be back in a conversation that on the field they are not yet. They are trying to prove they belong in the conversation.
But in terms of the world, Alabama has the most to prove to a greater audience, to a greater group of people. Because a lot more people watch the national championship than they watch the Big 12 network. You know? A lot more people watch that game, and a lot more people seen Alabama look pretty average against Georgia. So casual fans have been talking about Alabama. That's what they have to prove because they need to get back to being the king on the hill.
I'm pretty sure the casual fan will say, if I had to put my money on another team to make it to the championship next year, they're putting their money on Alabama over Georgia. Why? Because Alabama has literally been in the top 4 and has been in a championship game more than any other team in the country since the top 4 has been established.
Thanks.
Reputation.
Thanks for proving the point. So what happens if they stink next year? What if they don't win again next year? Then they got even more to prove the year after that. Is that Alabama? We got to get back to being the kings. That's all they're worried about. That's all they're worried about is being the champions. When you're not an average team, when you're a champion, you reach for championships. That's what they're out to prove. To say that Texas is trying to prove cultural relevancy to get back to being relevant, I mean, that's an adorable conversation and a great story. But Alabama, they trying to be champions.
You say trying to hear that again.
It's in one ear and out the other.
Alabama's trying to be champions.
It's okay, Keith.
Well, shoot. If you want to talk about relevancy, shoot. Miami fans worried about trying to get back into that conversation.
No, that's true.
Them and Texas in the same boat. Okay, y'all can go have that conversation over here. And the losers,
Miami and Texas might be in the same boat.
And the losers boat. Okay, y'all over there in average avenue. Okay, Alabama is over here on Championship Square, trying to get back into the big mansion, but they won't be because they're locked out. The locks have been changed. Okay? They might not even win the SEC West next year. I think
Who?
Alabama. And I think
Okay, what's next? Because he taking this too far. He finna take it too far.
I'm about to finish. Alabama might not even win the SEC West next year because another person that has a lot to prove is Jimbo Fisher in Texas A&M. Because why they signed Jimbo to all that money to will keep coming in second place, keep coming in third place, it's not going to be okay for a long time. Jimbo's got a lot to prove too, more than
Jimbo do got a
Texas,
lot to prove.
more than Texas, and more than Clemson too. All right.
You know what? You can say Jimbo. He not wrong, Keys. You look like that, but he
The
not
Jimbo,
wrong.
no. The Jimbo part, no. The part about them not winning SEC is wrong. That is 100% wrong. The part about Jimbo, that's facts.
I mean, don't be surprised if you're watching a Georgia Texas A&M SEC title game next year. It's okay, Keith. The ACC championship will probably not have Miami next year, so it's okay. You'll have more
Y'all
time to
keep
sit.
bringing up Miami, but I have not mentioned Miami. That's the
Hey,
part
man,
that doesn't make sense. I didn't bring up Miami.
Miami has a lot to
I
prove.
gave facts. I gave a fact.
Is that not a fact that Miami has a lot to prove because they want to be relevant?
Miami has a lot to prove for the simple fact you bring in a new coach. Yes, you have a lot to prove. You went and got Mario out of Oregon to come to Miami to keep players in state so that you can go back and compete to a title. That is a long-term thing. Clemson is in a short-term thing. What are we talking about? Something short-term. I'm not going to pick Miami.
Yeah, Miami's just trying to be the best team in Florida at this point.
Miami is the best team in Florida.
They're not even
Let's
better
not
than
get twisted. Come on now.
Miami
on
not
now.
even. Miami
UCF,
not even better than
USF.
It's hard having the most intellect
Bethune
because
Cookman.
these takes are
Right,
awful.
Cookman. Who else
These
down
takes
there?
are so awful.
Florida Gulf
So
Coast could be
awful.
Miami.
Stetson University.
Man.
It's okay, Keith.
Y'all are just bad. It's so bad. So
It's
bad.
okay.
It's so bad. It makes no sense how bad it is.
The University of Miami, Ohio is more relevant.
Keep the talking going. Keep the talking going.
Hey, that's a good one. I said Miami of Ohio.
It's
okay, Keith.
Keenan, you saying it's okay? You abandoned your team.
That's why I don't care no more. So it's okay, Keith. I'm here for more support.
Fans.
I'm not going to wish him a call.
Fans, we need you to do this for us. Comment as many teams as you want that you think Keenan should become a fan of. He is accepting all suggestions. Okay,
not Georgia, not LSU.
Not Georgia and not LSU because he hates good football. So maybe he'll like Nebraska or Iowa. Maybe Keenan's a Big Ten type of guy. Or maybe he'll
I
go
can see
out.
you rooting for Wisconsin.
Yeah, the only thing I like about Wisconsin is to jump around with the crowd.
So fans, please send suggestions for which team Keenan should become a fan of. Obviously, it won't be any of our teams. But let's see what Keenan will be rooting for this fall for college football. That rhymed. I like that.
Bars.
We'll keep bars for sure. Appreciate it. Mixtape coming out. Hey. Well, we're gonna jump over to some professional football now. We got the NFL. We had 2 wild card games yesterday. We are recording on Sunday, so we had 2 wild card games yesterday. The Bengals beat the Titans. Joe Burrow sacked a whole lot of times, but Ryan Tannehill 3 picks. Bengals move on to the AFC Championship game, winning 2 playoff games after winning 0 in 31 years. So, Keith, do you believe in the Bengals?
No, I think yesterday's game was more about the Titans giving the game to the Bengals than the Bengals beating the Titans. And it's no disrespect to Cincinnati Bengals fan, but if your defense get 9 sacks or whatever the record they broke yesterday and you still win, you gave the game away. You gave the game away 100%.
Hey, Keenan, is Joe Burrow that guy? Is he gonna take the Bengals to the Super Bowl next week?
No. Come on now.
Too strong nose, but nobody said that the Bengals had a chance against the Titans. But you want to know why they had a chance? Because Ryan Tannehill stinks. All right? Ryan Tannehill has been a good regular season quarterback. He has produced decently to well with the weapons around him. But time after time, the Titans have been in this situation. And times after time, Tannehill has not pulled through. This time, to a team that had a quarterback sacked 9 times. And they couldn't win. You got King Henry back yesterday. He couldn't win. Should the Titans look to move on from Ryan Tannehill? I will start. Yes. I don't know if they will find a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill, but they should begin the process of looking to move on from Ryan Tannehill. I think as long as Ryan Tannehill is their quarterback, Titan fans should get used to disappointment. I think as long as Ryan Tannehill is their quarterback, the Titans will not be a team that can win the Super Bowl. There are a few teams in the league that I think they have a quarterback who can win the Super Bowl. I think Joe Burrow is a guy who could win a Super Bowl, right? He gives me that vibe. He gives me that energy. He plays with that swagger. He makes the right decisions. Joe Burrow is a guy who could win a Super Bowl. I don't know if I see the Bengals winning the Super Bowl ever, but Joe Burrow is a guy who could potentially take the Bengals to the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. We'll talk more about Rodgers in a second. Tom Brady. Those are guys that you say can at any time can take their team to the Super Bowl. Ryan Tannehill is not that type of guy. Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, similar guys. Moment gets too big for them, they don't show up no more. I think the Titans should begin that process of moving on from Ryan Tannehill. I think they will have continued success in the regular season. I think as long as they want to keep division titles, shoot, Ryan Tannehill is probably a good quarterback for that. But if they want something more, they should probably be looking to make a different move than Ryan Tannehill. Keith, it looked like you had something to say. So, what is your take? Should the Titans be looking to move on from Tannehill?
I 110% agree with you, Logan. I think the Titans have reached. They're like Notre Dame. They have reached their capacity. The question is, how can we increase it? I think they're going to have to understand they're going to have to take 2 steps backwards to go 3 steps forward. They might, if they move off of Tannehill, they might not be as good, but in terms of they have a better chance to win the Super Bowl. I think they have capped off at Ryan Tannehill. He moved him out of Marcus Mariota, that era, that debacle. But he has proven that when it comes time to the playoffs, he underperforms. They had a chance yesterday, final drive. 3rd and 5, and pick. You can't throw 3 picks at home with the first round bye against a quarterback who's making his 2nd playoff start against an unexperienced Cincinnati organization. You cannot perform like that. I think this would be the strike for them to be like, okay, we got to move on. Similar to the Alex Smith effect.
Definitely. I think Ryan Tannehill and Alex Smith, fair comparisons. Fair comparisons. Keenan, it looks like you don't agree with that.
How is that a fair comparison?
Because Alex Smith.
Let me explain, Logan. Alex Smith, when he was in Kansas City, after losing his job to Kaepernick, Alex Smith got the Chiefs to the playoffs. However, he cannot get them over the next hump to the Super Bowl. Ryan Tannehill left Miami or got removed from Miami, came to Tennessee, got them out of the Marcus Mariota stage where they were really missing a quarterback, gave them some stability at the position. However, he is at the point where he cannot win the big games to get you to where you're trying to get to. Therefore, Alex Smith, Ryan Tannehill, happy marriage.
Yes. Yes.
Keenan, should the Titans be looking to move on from Ryan Tannehill? Is he a guy that could win a Super Bowl?
No, he's not. He's not even what they call a game manager. He's not even one of those. So, yeah, you got to move on. You better go try to call Brian Green Bay. You better try to call him ASAP. Maybe him on their team would be something, but Tannehill not the answer. Y'all said enough on them.
Tannehill's not the answer. We got the Bengals moving on to the AFC Championship game, awaiting the winner of the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs. Awaiting the winner of the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs. The second game yesterday, the 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers in a frozen game. Temperature was 12 degrees, felt like 0, started snowing. It was cold out there. 49ers win 13-10. The whole time watching the game, I was saying Jimmy G doesn't deserve this team. He doesn't deserve this team because they were playing so well. Blocked a field goal after a bad Jimmy G interception. Blocked a punt that gave them their only touchdown of the game. And the 49ers pull it out. Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams, dominant connection. But it wasn't enough. And Aaron Rodgers, after that first drive, they could not put another touchdown up. And he has another playoff exit before the Super Bowl. So many winning seasons. So many MVPs from their quarterbacks. Aside from Aaron Rodgers' frustrations earlier this season, should the Packers want to move on from Aaron Rodgers? Because while you know he's going to give you a great MVP season, is it time to make the transition similar to when they had Brett Favre and they pushed him out the door for Aaron Rodgers? Is it time to put Jordan Love out there? Because Green Bay, it just doesn't seem that Rodgers can win a Super Bowl up there again. Keith, what do you think about yesterday's game and the 49ers moving on to the NFC Championship game?
Well, I think you made some great points of Jimmy G has to perform better going forward. But I'm going to answer the question about should the Packers move on to Jordan Love in the Aaron Rodgers Brett Favre comparison. I think the Packers were comfortable moving on to Aaron Rodgers. I don't think the Packers are confident to move on to Jordan Love. Therefore, they want to keep Rodgers as long as they feel they can in terms of the salary cap. I think that's the biggest difference with this team. However, Special teams has always seemed to play a major effect in Green Bay in playoff situations. If you remember, while they only scored one touchdown, if the 49ers only touchdown was a block punt, Aaron Rodgers can't control a block punt. They don't get the block punt. They still scramble and find a way to win that game. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is not at fault. You got to perform better than having only 10 points, but still. I don't think you move off of Aaron Rodgers because you have a top 3 quarterback still. But I think it's going to be a what's the word I want to use? He has to be better as well in the playoffs. He has to take some blame for this, but all of it is not his fault.
Keenan, with all that drama that happened throughout the season and in the offseason, was it worth it for Aaron Rodgers just to lose in the divisional round? 13-10 to the 49ers?
To lose it, I don't want to say it was worth it. It wasn't worth it, but like Keith said, it wasn't his fault on the way the 49ers won. But to move on from, I think you probably have to, because you get tired of the media aspect. I believe as an organization. Every time he's coming out on the media, it seems like he's throwing shots at them. Do you really want that around your culture if you're trying to, keep that thing going? If you're trying to keep that powerhouse going, do you really want that around? Every time he's in front of a camera, it's something that's coming out that's like, oh, Rodgers throwing shots at them, Rodgers doing this, Rodgers doing that. So for that aspect, do you want to keep that around for your sake? Now, I do agree with you though, Keith. They're not comfortable with Jordan Love. Not yet. You were right when you was like how with the Brett Favre situation, they was confident, oh, Rodgers can step in and do this the same thing, if not better. But with Jordan Love, I don't think they fully trust Jordan Love yet to be able to take them keys and ride that thing they got going. So if they was to move on from Rodgers, I wouldn't be surprised if they go after somebody like Russell Wilson, somebody in that aspect, to bring in another veteran guy that can actually, keep it going for him until Jordan can get right. So if they're going to move on, go try to get Russ. Why not?
Which team next year would be best with Aaron Rodgers? The Denver Broncos, the Tennessee Titans, or the Pittsburgh Steelers?
He want me to answer that for real.
Keenan.
The Titans.
The Titans. You said the Titans?
I think it's the
Titans. Titans, Broncos, and Steelers.
Yes. Objectively.
My bias, I'm being biased on them. I'm gonna say the Steelers, but you know why. You already know why. You know why.
As long as the Broncos don't pick them up. But the 49ers are moving on to the NFC Championship game, and they await the winner of the Los Angeles Rams versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Tampa Bay right now is losing 20-3 with 11 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Rams are looking good. It's hard to call this game. I think the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl from the NFC. Whether the Bucs come back or whether the Rams win, I think this is the NFC representative here. And I think this is the team to beat. I think the winner of this game wins the Super Bowl. I'm just gonna go out and say that. So whether it's the Rams or whether it's the Bucs, I think it'll be the Rams. Keenan, I don't think this year is Tom Brady's last year. He just threw for 5,000 yards. Does he go for one more Super Bowl next year? Do you think he has one more year? Or does he have more than 1 year?
I think Tom might have 2 more years though. I haven't seen nothing yet to show me he need to go and sit down. But I think he has 2 more. I think 2 more in him. 2 more years in him.
I think we say Tom Brady has 2 more years left all the time because we're not comfortable saying, oh yeah, he's just gonna stop playing. Because every time we think he's gonna stop playing, it just keeps moving forward. He's 44 now, going to be 45 next year. 44 years old, those 5,000 yards. Never before seen, ever. Ever in the history of the NFL. And the Rams are showing some special teams action, punt return taken back to like the 30. It's not looking good for the Bucs right now. Not looking good for their repeat chances that Rams payroll is paying off. Keith, do you think the winner of this game is going to the Super Bowl, or do you think the 49ers have a shot?
No, I'm gonna go with the winner of this game wins the Super Bowl, goes to Super Bowl. 100% agree with you. In terms of the part about Tom Brady, depending on how they lose and what the Buccaneers are able to get back, I think that will determine if he plays another year or another 2 years. If he feels that team and that roster is built and is good enough for him to take them back to the Super Bowl, I don't see him going out on a loss in the divisional round. That doesn't feel like something Tom Brady would do. I think his idea would be to go out on top. And if they're able to keep some of the people they want to keep back, I think then he'll run it back another year.
It seems that they're going to need some receiver help. You know, Antonio Brown's out. Godwin's hurt with the ACL, and he's a free agent. So it's just going to be Mike Evans there by his lonesome. We'll see what the Bucs do. It's not looking too good right now. Stafford's looking good. The Rams are looking good. I'll continue to give you updates along the way. I think the Rams are going to win this game. Keenan, Rams or Bucs right now?
Rams going to win.
I'm rolling with the Rams. It's hard to count Brady out though because we've seen some.
Y'all, I think y'all sleeping on the 49ers, man. Especially if the Rams win this game. I won't count them out. Because although we hate Jimmy the way, we talk about Jimmy the way we do, Jimmy was throwing some dots yesterday, and his receivers just weren't catching balls from him. Even the great killer wasn't catching some balls from him. So I'm not going to count them out, especially the way, every time we say, oh, Jimmy's playing horrible, every time we say 49ers not going to win, they sneak somebody. So if they got to play the Rams, they know their team. So I went, I ain't going to count out the 49ers.
We will await the Odell with the sideline catch. Such a great pickup for the Rams. And we have the last game of the divisional round. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Buffalo Bills. I think it's going to be a great one. I'm rolling with the Bills to beat the Chiefs. Keith, seems shocked about that. Who are you rolling with?
Are we PG-13 or are we R-rated?
On Spotify, it says we have the expletive thing, so I guess.
Okay. Forget the Bills, going with the Chiefs.
Forget the Bills, going with the Chiefs. Keenan, Bills or Chiefs?
Give me Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Give me Buffalo.
It's going to be a great game, though.
It is.
It's going to be a good game.
I think this Josh Allen coming out party.
Oh, yeah.
I think this, Josh Allen time. I think he's gonna move on past the Chiefs. I think he's gonna climb the hurdle.
Might as well. 31-27.
31-27. That's a good game.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good game. I can't wait to watch it.
Game.
Repeat of last year too. Little chip on the shoulder. It's gonna get real. It should be a real physical game too.
Bills Mafia.
I hope the Chiefs lose. I do hope the Chiefs lose for rivalry purposes and because it would be great to have a brand new quarterback in the Super Bowl, aside from Jimmy G. Hope the 49ers don't make it.
You know what's crazy? Wasn't that one of my hot takes? I said we're going to get the championship or a Super Bowl of two quarterbacks not from the last years?
Mm-hmm.
Touchdown Rams.
No, you said neither Buccaneers or the Chiefs will be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need Buffalo to win because I don't need Cincinnati in the Super Bowl.
Right, because Cincinnati, I think they have a better chance to beat the Chiefs as opposed to beating the Bills.
I
But I
agree.
think the Bills are going to win tonight. And I think it's going to be Bills, Bengals, 49ers, Rams. Rams just score again. It's 20 after the field extra point. It will be 27-3. Brady's going to need 3 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions to come back without the Rams scoring, and the Rams just look good right now. I think this is Stafford's year. I think we're going to go. We've waited long enough. The people have waited long enough. Let's give him our Super Bowl picks. Our solid Super Bowl picks cannot be changed after this point. Los Angeles Rams. I'm going with the Rams. I'm going with Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford, the return of Cam Akers, Odell Beckham, Cooper Kupp, Eric Weddle. Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams to win the Super Bowl. Keith, who is your Super Bowl pick?
My Super Bowl pick is actually the Los Angeles Rams. Playing great ball, best corner, best defensive player. Got Odell to go along the offense too, and Cooper Kupp. It's going to be hard to pick against them.
Look at me. Everybody disagrees with me today. Keenan, Super Bowl pick.
Ooh, give me Steph.
The Rams.
Give me Steph.
Well, sorry to inform you, Rams. If all 3 of us agree, you're about to choke to somebody.
Hopefully they're playing Buffalo because Buffalo is the only other team I want to see win. So
imagine if the Bengals.
Stop it.
You know what? If it's give me Josh. Screw it. I go with Josh. I'll be different. Give me the Bills. Bills Mafia.
If the Bills win,
this
this is Josh Allen's coming out party. But guess who's coming out party? It is also Joe Burrow. I think Rams over Bengals in the Super Bowl. Rams over Bengals in the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford wins his first Super Bowl. Rams over the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow is going to smoke the Buffalo Bills. I think you go with the quarterback with the most swagger. I think you give me Joey B over Josh Allen.
Because of social media, that's the only reason.
Or Joey B over Patrick Mahomes. I don't care who the Bengals play next week. They're going to the Super Bowl. You heard it here first, Bengals fans. Bengals are going to the Super Bowl.
No.
They might not win. They might not win because the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. But the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl.
Heck no.
Keenan, close your eyes. Bengals Super Bowl.
No. They made me want to throw up. They made me throw up.
But wait.
What I'm saying, as long as we've been alive, that has never been a discussion of Bengals.
But close
Super
your eyes
Bowl.
and hear Bengals AFC Championship game.
No.
That also has not been a thing. Bengals playoff win. As long as we have been alive, none of us have seen a Bengals playoff win. So
true.
Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow is going to be smoking cigars on his way to the Super Bowl. Bengals to the Super Bowl.
I have to see that one happen.
Jeez, that means you picking Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl because you said they're going to beat the Bills, and that means they're also going to beat the Bengals. So you got my homeboy against the Rams, and you got the Rams beating the Chiefs. And Keenan, you got Josh Allen and the Bills beating the Chiefs tonight, and Josh Allen and the Bills beating the Bengals next week.
It's going to be Buffalo and the Rams.
And Josh Allen and the Bills beating the Rams in the Super Bowl. So you got
Buffalo will be in the Super Bowl, but I don't. Super Bowl tough.
Pick your winner, man. Gotta pick a winner. Cannot be changed. I got Rams. Keith says Rams.
I'm gonna stick with my first choice. I'm just gonna go Rams, but over Buffalo. Only reason because Tre'Davious White. No Tre'Davious White gonna hurt them.
So Rams over Bengals, Rams over Chiefs, Rams over Bills. We all have a different AFC representative, but we all have the Rams winning the Super Bowl. Let's go, Stafford. It's the year of the Bulldog. Year of the Bulldog. Stafford's putting on for the Dogs.
He's not even studying y'all. Yeah, he ain't been thinking about Georgia himself.
Stafford's putting on for the Dogs. He's going to the Super Bowl. He's going to win one this year. Guys, let's feel the burn.
Logan. Question, Logan. If Stafford wins this year, Hall of Famer?
Oh, absolutely.
Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Absolutely. He's got the stats.
He's does have that. He's just missing the ring. I want to see him win. Wouldn't it be great Odell in the Super Bowl and wins?
Oh, man.
Wouldn't
that's
that
going to be a
great?
great week. That's a great week.
Ooh, social media going to be on fire. Him and Jalen Ramsey.
That's going to be a great week. And Aaron Donald. Well, we can forget Aaron Donald, but not forget Aaron
Von
Donald.
Miller.
Yeah.
Von Miller.
Yeah. Von Miller, too. Yeah.
They got stars, man. They got stars out there in LA.
And it's LA. Oh yeah.
I think the Rams did. I think they built their team a good way. You got guys who gonna come in and impact. And these aren't guys that are washed, Odell, Von Miller. Those aren't washed guys. They're just guys who are on big contracts, who didn't really work out well in their situations for one reason or another. They ended up on the Rams. And now you got a dangerous wide receiver tandem. You have a fearsome pass rush with Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and Leonard Floyd. On the back end with Jalen Ramsey. You got Stafford the Cup with the best statistical season, one of the best statistical seasons for wide receiver in NFL history. And then you got Odell catching touchdowns again, being a beast for the Rams. It's looking good. It's looking great. We all got the Rams going to the bowl. That is the Phil to Burn. That is Phil to Burn's Super Bowl prediction. The Los Angeles Rams. 1, 2, 3. All say the Rams. Does anybody have any hot takes for us to go home on?
I have advice. I need all the NFL GMs, all the owners, all the execs to take a look at what the Rams did this year. Stop putting so much emphasis on draft picks. Go get people that can play football. It's good to rebuild, but the goal is to win a ring. You can't, if you having to get all that picks, you obviously not that good. Go get players that are proven to go get you a chip. There we go.
Pick up players, man. Players win championships, not draft picks. Keenan, you got something for us to go home on?
Frank Vogel will not be the Lakers head coach after this season.
Frank Vogel will not be returning to the Lakers. And go pick up some players because players win championships, not draft picks. Keith, can that philosophy be used for the NBA too? Or
especially used for the NBA. After the first 15 picks, nobody is somebody in a different country or whatever anyway. If you got all them picks, you suck. Stop getting players, stop getting picks, and go get players.
We are a Players Not Picks podcast. Players Not Picks podcast. We want free agents. We want trades. We want acquisitions. We want to build the team up. We want you to follow Phil to Burn. Hey, guys, that was Phil to Burn. The hottest sports podcast out. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Comment on this video. Make sure you tell us what Keenan's next college football team should be. Give us some topics. Give us some guest suggestions. We love the support. Thank you guys for everything that you do for us. I am the man with the plan, the host who does the most. My name is Prudencio Logan. You can find me on Twitter at Prudencio_Logan, and you can find me on Instagram at Prudencio.Logan. Keith, where can they find you?
On Twitter, just_Keys_, and on Instagram, Keys, two Q's, two U's, two I's, two S's, and an
Underscore.
thank you, an underscore.
Yep. 2 Q's, 2 U's, 2 I's, two S's _. Big Keith, Big Logan, Big Keenan. Where can they find you?
Man, big underscore K64, man. Big with 2 G's on both Twitter and Instagram.
Big _ K64. You can find him on Twitter, Instagram there. Guys, make sure you follow Feel the Burn on all the socials, on everywhere you can listen to podcasts. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at Feel the Burn Podcast. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Feel the Burn Pod. You can find us on TikTok at Feel the Burn Podcast. And you can find us on YouTube at Feel the Burn Podcast. Guys, we thank you for the support. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share and tell a friend to follow us. We got big goals, and we thank you for helping us achieve them. Guys, that was Feel the Burn. Thank you for tuning in.